So now what you see here, he's lining up for the stunt. This is the moment that everyone's been waiting for. They've got the bikes, they've done all the training they can do. 2 years of training, now put all into this one moment. And Tom, being a perfectionist, he is what he is. He uses all his training he's done and he just puts all the 1%ers together and he makes it look effortless and easy. What's up, Ignition? Harry Bink here, professional freestyle motocross rider. Welcome to my garage, and today we're going to talk about my favourite stunt in history of Hollywood movie sets. Today we're talking about the Tom Cruise motorbike base jump. This is one of my most favourite stunts in history of what can be done on a motorbike. It's something that I really want to do, and watching how Tom did his one inspires the hell out of me. Lots of work. I love the way they broke down the trick. Tom Cruise had no reason to do this stunt himself. He did it purely through a passion project, and to see what they made possible with the time frames that they used to make it possible was really inspiring, the way they broke down the trick and for Tom to do so. Alright, so what you can see here, you can see the scaffolding and everything that they've brought up onto the cliff here. Now, all the equipment, everything that they have on top of this cliff, it's only accessible by helicopter. So everything that you see on this level is all being brought up by helicopter. Now we've got Tom doing all the training of him doing the motorbike, learning how to ride a motorbike, as well as his parachute skydiving experience. Tom's done thousands of skydives and stuff like that before, so he's really advanced. Now when they're doing these kinds of jumps, the things that take the most time is for a parachuter or a motorbike rider or whatever you're doing, it's all the work that goes behind the scenes. So every time you do a skydive, you need to stay there and pack your parachute. And so that's a process in itself. But for Tom to speed up his training, he's landing and then they're handing him parachutes that are packed. And they go, yep, here's your parachute, go again, go again, go again. So Tom would get up to 30 skydives in one day for a training. Now, for us skydivers or anyone that's not like a normal skydiver, you're flat out getting 5 jumps in one day. So for him, with his training, having the best crew around him, everything speeds it up massively. Again, Tom never had to do these stunts. So for Tom to go through all the training, yes, he has the best facilities, and haters are always gonna say, oh, Tom did this, he did this because of this, because of this, because of this. He has opportunities to it. But the reality is, he never had to do this stunt. So Tom is a king for taking on this stunt and the way he's broken it down, in my eyes. So what we see here, Tom is jumping a motorbike tabletop. He did jump that jump 10,000 times just to get used to the takeoff, like leaving the ramp, and just so he feels comfortable when he leaves it. Now for us freestyle motocross riders, like for example doing the triple flip, I landed 4 triple backflips to the airbag, and then I went to the event and landed it. Now for Tom to do 10,000 jumps just to feel how the bike just feels leaving the takeoff ramp, that's just one little breaking down, one little section of this stunt. And then he'll do all these skydives, and then he'll do all the base jumps. So he's doing like massive amounts of numbers, and he's merged all these, breaking down all the steps for this stunt, and they'll do the training over a 2-year window. Now for someone that's crazy in action sports or at the level that we are at, when I say myself or any other high level professional action sports athletes, we would do a stunt like this in less than a week. The hardest part would be building is the setup for the takeoff. But once the takeoff is there, so right now what you see, there's the takeoff, there's cardboard boxes, and they got the cables here. Now this is one of the really smarter things that I've ever seen before to break down a stunt, because to jump off a takeoff ramp, the cardboard boxes there underneath are there to save the motorcycle, so they can continuously reuse that bike. Otherwise, if they were bailing on a bike like that, it would go to waste. They have 2 cranes above him, and he's centered in the middle. So, and they've timed it so the times when the when the rope pulls tight is when he will start catching air when he's falling off the cliff. So that's where you see he's falling, and as soon as it pulls tension, is about the time where air starts hitting your chest and you can actually start flying. So they've put in so much math, so much calculations and everything to get this perfectly for Tom and how he does it. And the whole time he talks, he's still acting behind the scenes. He's just such a, what he actually goes on in his head and how serious he takes everything. He is very professional in the way he delivers his words to the team and everything, but it's an operation and he's still putting on a face or a name or just to keep the project rolling. But it's so impressive to see how well he's broken down the trick. And I think any action sports people trying to achieve the impossible, there's stuff we can all learn from the way Tom broke down this stunt. Now financially, that's I think which is what would affect most trying to do a stunt like this. But for Tom to have the team around him and use all the sources he has here, I think it's really inspiring, because going back to the point of he didn't have to do this himself. So yes, it's like, oh, but Tom has all these amazing opportunities and to this equipment and things like that. But he's redefining formulas here that no one in action sports has used before. With the cranes, with the cables to find his timing off the jump, little things like that. So when I'm watching this, I see like, okay, I just did a triple backflip on a dirt bike. What's stopping me from trying 4 backflips now and have the cables points to where I think the landing might be? And then it pulls tension when I get to the mark where I think I'm gonna need for 4 backflips. So I'm literally, for me, trying to innovate action sports and win more competitions and recreate history, I'm now learning off Tom. So it's pretty inspiring. So right here, what he's doing here, he's timed it where he's gonna be exiting the motorcycle, but he's just done it on, he's in there on the helicopter, and he'll exit just to feel the winds, the everything when you leave the aircraft or the motorcycle for that part of the cliff. So now when he's falling, his parachute opens. Things that they're testing for are on-heading openings, because you're jumping off a cliff. If your parachute opens 180, you'll fly back into the object you just jumped off, and that'll kill you. It'll rip your parachute and you'll fall to your death. So you have these guys here, they're packing the parachutes. I've actually done base jumps with these guys here. Miles Dasher, unreal guy. I've done a heap of base jumps with him before. So there's a lot of guys on this scene. They use the best action sports people there for the best knowledge. This is Miles Dasher here. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the clip thing. Yeah, but they're using the best team, the best energy, the best knowledge to make all this stuff happen. So now what you see here, he's lining up for the stunt. This is the moment that everyone's been waiting for. They've got the bikes, they've done all the training they can do. 2 years of training, now put all into this one moment. And Tom, being a perfectionist, he is what he is. He uses all his training he's done and he just puts all the 1%ers together and he makes it look effortless and easy. Because of he's broken down the trick, he's broken down all the steps, and he makes it look like a Hollywood pictured scene when he's actually done it real life, in person, no fake effects, no strings, nothing. He rode that motorcycle off that cliff and had nothing but his parachute to keep him alive and to complete that stunt. So the stuff that they're looking for here right now, there has to be 0 winds. Any type of winds will affect the stunt or shut the stunt down. Your humidity, there was clouds that day, so they need to have the right clearance so they can see. It's a massive teamwork operation of awareness to be able to do something like this, but with their knowledge, everything, they're 20 steps ahead of every problem, and they've done it easy and they make it look easy, and the energy, and you can see that with Tom's voice, the excitement and how alive he feels. That's not him faking it. So it's massive hats off to Tom for doing the impossible that he didn't have to do. So doing a motorcycle base, to eliminate skill levels and things like that, they've tried to use the most flattest takeoff they can, because as soon as you start using more angle, degrees, steepness, anything on a dirt bike, yeah, at those high speeds, you deal with so much timing that you need to know the motorcycle, how much compression you can take on an up ramp, things like that. So they've just got a nice, flat, long takeoff to get him as far as they can away from the cliff. And then to just pull the parachute and be as safe as possible. Moving forward, if I was gonna do it, I'd probably build something a lot more steeper, taller. It makes it a lot more risk because you need to hit it way faster to get away from the cliff, away from the object that you jumped off. But if we make it a lot steeper, it means we can do lots more flips and play around with the trick a lot more in the air. So if I was to do it, I'd make it a lot taller, steeper, and just so it really sends me up in the air so I can play around up there while I'm up there and try and do some cool tricks and just do something that hasn't been done before. And that is a wrap here with Ignition Tom Cruise Moto Base Stunt Recap.